So I'm going to share with you why you guys should really start listening to your friends out there that are in network marketing, all those people that hit you up and invite you to their parties, their launch events. They're always asking you about products. Do you look for other ways of making money? It's real simple, guys. We are headed for a down economy. Recession is looming, and it really has nothing to do with who you support in the next upcoming election. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or you're Republican. Bottom line is it's cyclical, and every 7 years or so, our nation goes into a recession, and it's actually been a couple more years than 10. That's about 10 years since we've actually had a down economy. And so what that means, guys, is that every single time there's a down economy, historically the network marketing industry explodes. And there's some very practical reasons why. Number one, when financial crisis hits, it raises an awareness for people that there is a definite need for a secondary source of income. There is a definite need for a way to increase the amount of income coming into the home, because usually in a down economy, things become more expensive and the dollar doesn't go as far as it normally does. Usually in a bad economy, there's not a lot of opportunity out there, right? So there's not a lot of people that are hiring because, business is down. And so when a bad economy hits, first and foremost, people start to feel pressure. And when they start to feel pressure, they start to evaluate the different opportunities that they have out there. Now, we're talking about a down economy. And the reason why network marketing really is a good option for people in a down economy is for a number of reasons. Number one, it allows you to make money with low capital to start. Because, guys, if you still think that you can build a business with no money out of pocket, you're a fool, okay? Bottom line. When people tell me, like, I make it a habit never to get involved in anything that costs me money, I'm like, okay, you're stupid. It's just is what it is, right? I don't care if you're a videographer and you want to create content. You've got to buy equipment. You've got to buy a laptop. You have to have the appropriate tools to do the job, the resources. Then once you have them, you've got to spend money in marketing. So anything that you do is going to require capital. And so if you still have that in your mind, like, I don't, if it costs me money, right? Well, then you don't get it. Okay. So number one, network marketing affords you the ability to start a business with low upfront costs. Yeah, I have really good friends of mine out in the Inland Empire in California here, and they own a couple of gyms. Just having some conversation with them, I found out that each one of their gyms, the startup cost was over 6 figures. Now, again, we're talking about being in a down economy. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, what we see as the landscape of our nation could be and will be drastically different. So in a down economy, right, how many people are going to have $100,000 to spare, right, when everything is costing more, to go out there and open a gym? Not many. But if you have a friend who's selling a product or in a networking company of some sort, and they say, listen, it costs you as little as $250 to build a business, and you can start making money, people are going to jump all over that, right? Everybody's got a credit card. And typically in a down economy, people use credit cards, especially if you're going to use a credit card to put yourself in a position to make money. Second reason why network marketing is a good option for people in a down economy is because it allows you to control your own hours, right? People start to value their job in a different way in a down economy. Number one, because they're afraid of losing it, but also number two, they're also afraid of losing it. So they have their job and they're locked in and they're focused while they're at work because they're afraid of losing it, but at the same time, they're also afraid of losing it. So after work, right, you have two options. You go get another job, or you figure out a way to create money in a home-based business. And nowadays, in 2020, most home-based businesses you can do from your phone, you can do from your laptop, your iPad, you can leverage technology. So number one, low startup costs. Number two, it allows you to build a business on your terms at the baseball field, doing whatever you need to do and still be able to have, fulfill the responsibilities as maybe a dad or a mom or a spouse. And then number three, it gives you the ability to make money fast, okay? For instance, in a down economy, right? Let's say you're like, man, what are some of the ways that I can make money supplemental, right? I can go drive Uber. It's not really a lot of money there, okay? Way too much time for not enough reward. I can get into real estate. That ain't gonna happen, right? Because you can't make money fast, right? So in a down economy, typically real estate drops because there's not a lot of money. People aren't buying properties. People aren't buying properties. That means people aren't selling properties. So if you're an agent, you're not making a lot of money. But even if people were, let's just say that people were still buying, selling houses, and you needed to make money fast, you ain't going to do it in real estate, because unless you're already licensed and you already have a pipeline developed, it's going to take you 3, 4, 5, 6 months before you ever see a check as a supplemental source of income. So in network marketing, most times they have a turnkey system. You can get started today, get trained tomorrow, and have money in your wallet online in a week, right? So low capital, you create your own hours, and you can make money fast. You see, this is why, as we keep seeing things go in the direction that we're going, some of you better start paying attention to your friends out there that are out there building their little business, right? They're going to kill it, because statistically, network marketing explodes in a down economy. There was a company a couple of years back that exploded in 2008. It was called Monavie. Some of you guys remember that company. They marketed the acai berry in a wine bottle. They were the fastest company in network marketing history to hit $1 billion, right? Now, why? It was a lot of things. It was a product that nobody had ever seen before. The company was still very early, right? They paid very well, and then all of a sudden, the market tanked. People saw that opportunity. They dove headfirst. The compensation plan exploded, and people literally made millions and millions of dollars. I know people, friends of mine, that made $30 million. I got a buddy out of Jacksonville, Florida, okay? Just your everyday average real estate guy, great husband, grandfather. During that run with that company, he had a 6-year period, okay? 6-year period where he made $80,000 a week or more for 6 years straight. That's filthy freaking money. Filthy. Why? Because he was the right place, right time, right, when the economy turned. Guys, think about this. Everybody's all crazy about the coronavirus right now, and if you really just do your research and turn off the TV, you'll realize that it's really not much to be worried about. Wash your hands, right? Be conscious of where you go, what you do, and you're fine. Now, outside of America, it could be a problem, but that's because people don't have the same standards, as far as public health and safety and whatnot. But what's happening outside of America will impact what's happening here. Case in point, most, if not all of what we wear, what we sit on, what we put on the walls, a lot of this stuff comes from China. Well, in China, it's really bad right now, right? And so we're not even accepting a lot of stuff from China. So if you run a business, or you have friends that run a business right now and they're reliant upon getting supplies from China, all of a sudden their cheap supplies are no longer available. So now they got to buy American. Well, guess what? American is too expensive. So now they can't buy their supplies. Their business is hurting, right? This is where it's going to find that ripple effect. Now, all of a sudden their business is hurting, so they can't afford to have as many employees, so they start laying people off. All of this stuff is connected. Okay, and so we will have a downturn, we will have a recession, and I want to encourage you guys, right, to start being open-minded now, okay? See, people make millions of dollars, not when the crap hits the fan. It's the people who position themselves right before the bottom drops out, and then when the bottom drops out, they're already ready with a plan of attack to be able to capitalize. right? You know, I do e-commerce, and a lot of you guys know that. And, you know, it's funny, in e-commerce, how many of you guys remember the fidget spinner? Remember that little thing, you spin it on your finger, and all the kids were playing it, and people just went crazy. In e-commerce, people are always trying to find the next fidget spinner. They're always trying to find the next thing that's going to explode. And I tell people, you don't find the next fidget spinner, it finds you. But the only way that the fidget spinner finds you is when you're in the trenches doing the work and you're already plowing the fields. That's what's going to happen to some of your friends. So keep laughing at them, but some of your friends within the next 6 to 8 months will become multimillionaires right in front of your eyes. So I encourage you guys, I implore you guys to start paying attention to other options right now, because you don't want to get caught with your pants down, all right, when the crap hits the fan, because the crap is going to hit the fan, and it has nothing to do with who you support in the White House. It has to do with statistical data. It has to do with history. It has to do with cycles. It happens all the time. The economy has to correct itself. What happens right after a recession is a surplus, is just this explosion, right? And then right after that explosion, recession happens. It's cyclical, it happens. So hope you heard this. Hope you receive it. Otherwise, talk to you soon.